All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Walsh. I'm the Undersheriff with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I want to thank you all for being here today so we can discuss our plans and the plans for the community for the New Year's Eve celebration, which is about to take place, celebrating the end of 2023 and welcoming in 2024. You know, it seems like just yesterday we were standing up here, another year has gone by, and when you look back and reflect on a lot of the events that have occurred, it seems like just yesterday we were talking about Formula One. In a few weeks, we'll be hosting the Super Bowl, another remarkable year coming up for our community. But large-scale events are something we're not unprepared for. This is going to be one of those events that will reflect the work and the effort that's been put together by your first responder community, all the elected officials that take part in this. So we're looking forward to this event. This year, we're expecting over 400,000 people to join our community here in Las Vegas between the Strip and downtown. And we'll start, the preparation for this event begins, very quickly after last year's event ended. And what you'll see out there this year will be a combination of the efforts put together by all the elected officials and the first responder community that's here today. Every year, we also have help from the National Guard, and we also really rely a lot on our partners in the private sector. And we're here again at Switch, and I want to thank them once again for hosting this event here and allowing us to use this room for our incident command operations. The infrastructure that they provide for us makes the communication between everybody involved seamless and provides us with another advantage in our ability to operate, our ability to keep this community safe. So a big thank you to Switch for allowing us to do this here again this year. I think when we all think back to recent events and the tragedy that occurred at UNLV, it's a reminder to all of us that it doesn't take a lot of sophistication, doesn't take a lot of complex planning, doesn't take a lot of coordination to wreak havoc on our community. And as we reflect on that event and our thoughts and prayers go out to the folks that were affected by that, it also is a stark reminder for how important it is for us to be prepared as a first responder community and the training and the effort that we put in throughout the year in order to make sure that all these events are safe. And I can assure you that the efforts that we make and the plans that are put into place that you'll see once again during New Year's Eve will keep us all safe, and we've all done everything we can to make sure that the community, not just on the Strip and in downtown, but out in the community, in the neighborhoods where some folks may just be staying at home, we're going to have a plan that you will all be proud of to keep us all safe. So some of the things that we have to go over here today are the road closures and the times, and I'll read some of that off to you. I-15, the off-ramps at I-15 at Flamingo will begin to be closed at 5:30 p.m. and road closures on the Strip that will take place between Spring Mountain and Tropicana will start to shut down at 4:30 p.m. By 8 o'clock, Las Vegas Boulevard should be completely shut down in all directions to vehicular traffic, and Spring Mountain and Tropicana will remain open for east and westbound traffic. Real-time information about road closures will be continually updated on our social media accounts. As you know, these are fluid timelines that we use, and as those things change and get updated, we'll push information out through our social media. And as usual, we're going to have a large contingent of officers downtown on the Fremont Street Experience, in the Fremont East Entertainment District, and on Las Vegas Boulevard on the Strip. And some of the ordinances that officers will be enforcing will be you see it displayed here on the screen to my left, but there'll be no glass bottles allowed on the Strip and on Fremont Street, beginning at 6 p.m. on the 31st and ending at 6 a.m. on the 1st. And you will not be allowed to have large bags such as luggage, diaper bags, computer bags, any item larger than 12 by 12 by 6 inches. And there'll be no strollers or carts of any kind allowed. And the focus for the officers out there when they see these things will be education and making sure people are aware that these ordinances are in effect. Folks will be given an opportunity, as in years past, to comply with the ordinances, and if not, then those items can be confiscated. And we'll ask everybody that visits the Strip in downtown just simply not to bring those items down there. It just makes it that much harder for the officers to do their job, to be vigilant if they have to address things that we've put plenty of notice out that will not be allowed on the Strip or in downtown. And finally, we encourage everyone and anyone who sees something to say something. The phone number, obviously, anybody can call 911 at any time to report anything that's a danger to the community, or the See Something, Say Something hotline at 702-828-7777. And with everyone's help and cooperation, we can make this New Year's Eve celebration an enjoyable one. And I want to thank you all for coming. And one last comment I want to make before I turn the podium over to Commissioner Jib Gibson is, every year that I've worked this event, the rank of Deputy Chief or above, I had the pleasure of serving in this room with Fire Chief Warren Whitney, who passed away recently, and I know that received some attention in the media. On behalf of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, I want to extend our condolences to the Whitney family. He's was a good friend. We're truly going to miss him, and he was a fixture in this room every year, and he is one of the reasons why that this first responder community that will be out here protecting the Strip and downtown this year is successful in everything we do. He was a big fixture in our partnerships, and I'm going to miss my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Under Sheriff Walsh. It's incredible to be able to serve with remarkable people, and this man is one of those remarkable people. In fact, we're always proud to partner with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in anything we do, but in particular, to come together with the Metropolitan Police Department and so many other agencies to do something that really makes sense, and that is to make this a fun and safe New Year's Eve celebration. There's no better place in the world to spend New Year's Eve than right here, and it is our top priority to make sure that this is as safe an event as is humanly possible. The theme for this year is more in 24, according to the Las Vegas events folks. And I think I can say comfortably that more in 24 reflects itself also in the planning and the execution of the things that we're here talking about today under the direction of the Metropolitan Police Department. A major highlight of the America's Party, of course, the major highlight is the fireworks demonstration that happens now on the 9 resort rooftops. It's an incredible thing, and the preparation and the work along with Grucci is something that is remarkable also. We know everything they're doing, they know everything they're doing, and everything we're doing. And all of that will invite a real safe environment for us. We want to thank Metro for its leadership, the Clark County Fire Department. We're working also with the City of Las Vegas and their fire department, our Public Works Department, the resorts, the Nevada Department of Transportation, the Nevada Highway Patrol, and others. And some of the highlights of the way that we're coordinating include the Multi-Agency Coordination Center, which is operated by the Emergency Management Division within our fire department at Clark County, will be active monitoring events and supporting Metro and other agencies to the extent that they're needed to respond to any needs that may arise. Our fire department, working with local ambulance companies, will have EMS teams working on the Strip to provide medical assistance to anyone that may need it. Fire inspectors will be stationed at each fireworks launch site on New Year's Eve. The command center for the show will be staffed at the Rio Hotel with our personnel, representatives from Grucci and other agencies to ensure that the show is safe. Our Public Works Department coordinates closely with Metro on the road closures you've just heard about and the cleanup efforts on the Las Vegas Strip. Our crews will move 3,000 crowd control metal barricades into place early in the morning of New Year's Eve to prepare for street closures. And of course, after the party, the convoy of 15 street sweepers will make its way down the Strip, picking up 10 to 12 tons of trash along the way before the intersections are reopened. And all of that has to happen in a timely way to keep things moving. We really appreciate the commitment, but one of the things that is a commitment to learn from each experience. And we've done that over the course of time, and our dedicated county staff will have perfected and has perfected these operations over the years. It's really something to behold. If you really want to have fun finishing off your New Year's Eve celebration, walk over and watch the way that they coordinate the cleaning of that incredible boulevard. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Commissioner Michael Naft.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Gibson, both for your leadership as chairman of the County Commission, but also for your leadership as chairman of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, an organization which has made New Year's Eve such a successful economic boost for our economy for this entire valley. You heard a little bit about the significance of the room that we're standing in. I've had the opportunity to experience this in full swing as the Incident Command Center during Formula One, and the men and women who work in this center during major events do a tremendous job ensuring that every level of government, every agency from the federal government to the most local individuals are working hard to make our major events work, to make them successful, to make sure everybody's protected and can have a fun, enjoyable experience. I think it's also important that we recognize just how busy these first responders are during this time, and that we as a community do everything possible to free them up for the true emergencies that we need them to be working on. And that includes making sure that we are preparing and planning to have not only a good time, but preparing and planning for how we get home after the good time is over. And we are very fortunate in this community to have so many alternative, safe, sober ways to get home. Everything from the RTC, which is once again offering free rides on all bus routes from 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve until 9 a.m. on New Year's Day. That is free service, 6 p.m. till 9 a.m. on all RTC bus routes. The Las Vegas monorail is operating around the clock beginning at 7 a.m. on December 31 until 2 a.m. on January 2nd. At each station's customer service booth, apart from LVCVA, locals with a Nevada ID can purchase $1 single ride tickets. For non-locals, single ride tickets are $6. 24-hour ride passes start at $13 and can be purchased online. That is a tremendous deal and a tremendous way to navigate Las Vegas Boulevard. Of course, there's also Uber and Lyft, which offers rideshare services throughout the evening. AAA offers their sober ride program. There truly is no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse to see what we have seen over this Christmas holiday in just 12 short hours, 5 fatalities and 4 different crashes. This community cannot tolerate that this New Year's Eve, and thanks to the partners that are standing with us, to Nevada Highway Patrol and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, we know that 43 arrests happened in just one DUI blitz the other evening. They will be out there in force. They will be doing the big, major things that need to happen to keep this community safe, and that includes making sure that only sober drivers are on our roadways. So we ask our community once again this year to do their part in keeping everybody safe. This time, I'd like to introduce our partner at the City of Las Vegas, another fixture in this room, Mayor Carolyn Goodman.
Thank you, and good morning. Thank you, Commissioner and Under Sheriff Walsh in particular. This is going to be my 24th New Year's Eve, except for the year we missed with COVID. And to see the change, the growth and development and preparedness that's been taken once again, but better than ever, by our first responders, our law enforcement. But we know there is no greater place to have a good time than here in Las Vegas. We are prepared, but we need everyone to do their part. And as Under Sheriff said, you see something, you say something. We're expecting anyone who's had too much to drink or other type of medication they might be using, be very careful. Don't get in a car, watch your neighbors and be helpful. But the critical piece of what we do here in Las Vegas is prepare as an entertainment district to give everyone a safe but happy and fun-filled time. And so I want to make sure that you know we're glad that everybody's here today and excited about hosting America's biggest New Year's party in Las Vegas. And we know that there's no better place for New Year's Eve than here. All of our first responders will be out in force for New Year's, as you know, and whether it's our marshals from the city, our law enforcement, metropolitan police department, every aspect, even private security is out there to be assured that we are attending to the entire population of visitors and residents who are participating. It is a very exciting day for us, and I am very pleased to be able to know that we have all of the support we're getting from all parts of the communication world, social media, as well as the printed word. And I know that we have our time because we have our law enforcement, and we have Chief John Steinbeck from the Clark County Fire Department here with us as well, and you'll be hearing from him. And of course, the city chief, Fernando Gray, you'll hear from him. So thank you, but I wish you all a happiest, safe New Year. The eyes of the world are always on Las Vegas. We are unique, we're one of a kind, and boy, have we grown to be big. So it's a great time, and wish you all to be safe as well. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm John Steinbeck. I'm the Fire Chief of the Clark County Fire Department. I echo what's been said, that this will be a safe event. We put out many different resources out specific to the resort corridor to ensure that is a safe area, and it's been very effective. We start planning this event along with our friends at Metro and so many of the other agencies, basically right after New Year's from the previous year. And so the planning goes on throughout the entire year, and it's in accordance this year. I want to thank my friend Andy Walsh for mentioning Warren Whitney, the Deputy Fire Chief who just recently passed. Thank you, sir. We will miss him this year, of course. We'll have a robust presence on the Strip, as stated. It does not mean that we're not busy with our normal calls. I mean, it's just a normal night, so we'll still have our normal fires, our normal EMS, the normal resources, and they will be available to do that. But certainly keep that in mind that we continue to respond to those just as we do to any emergencies that may be related to the celebration on the Strip. The fireworks is a big show. It's a great show. It's a safe show. We have it on 9 different rooftops this year. And, we monitor the weather very closely up until that point. We monitor the wind, and then we fire off test shots before we go ahead and go on with the show. And it's all about fallout. So there's not a hard, hey, at this miles per hour, the show will be canceled by any means. We watch the test shots. We take a look. We look at the fallout, and then we go from there. And this year we expect to have another great fireworks show. Grucci is a great partner, and they do a great job of setting that up for us. Please remember to dress warm, right? If you're out there, we do get those calls of service for people from the elements a little bit. It is Las Vegas, and you do think it's a desert, but it does get very cold on New Year's Eve many years, and we do get some calls related to that. And I can personally attest to what Commissioner Naff spoke so much about is be careful going home. That is where we do have the tragedies occur. I've been on many of those personally, where some families' New Year's is completely destroyed because of the selfish acts of an impaired driver. Certainly, we've experienced that recently with the loss of our 2 heroes at the Highway Patrol. So we need to make sure that as a community, we're ensuring that does not happen, and you're responsible for yourself, but you're also responsible for the people that you're celebrating with. We want to wish everybody a healthy and safe New Year, and I'd like to introduce my friend from the city of Las Vegas, Chief Fernando Gray.
I'd like to start off by, again, echoing some of the things that were already mentioned. First and foremost, the passing of Chief Whitney, that's just a really tragic situation, not just for Clark County Fire Department, but for all the fire departments in the region. He was just really, really instrumental and influential in how we prepare for these types of events. So, John, my good friend, I just want you to know you're not mourning alone. The other thing I want to mention is the fact that we did actually start preparations for this particular event, not just a couple months ago. We actually started almost immediately after last year's New Year's Eve. And one of the things that, again, has been spoken about a little bit earlier, but again, I'll just really reiterate it, is the fact that we collaborate in this region, not just with the fire department, not just with law enforcement, but everyone collaborates, not just, again, from a first responder standpoint, even with emergency management. So again, we are very, very prepared for this situation. One of the things I do want to make sure that everybody is aware of is the fact that we have actually mobilized our bomb squad. So again, they'll be prepared and making sure that they're available to do the sweeps as necessary. We also actually will end up having our hazmat, our special operations team. They will be available to provide service during this time. Again, one of the things that I would be remiss if I didn't mention is the fact that this is a very, very busy time period for our organization. And when I say our organization, all of the first responders. And just to give some context, we responded to roughly about 1,400 calls just between the period of 6 o'clock p.m. last year on New Year's Eve until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of volume of calls. So one of the things that we would ask our residents, the people that are visiting, that are having a great time as only we can do it in Las Vegas, we'd ask them for a couple helpful things, so to speak. One, and it's already been mentioned, is the fact that we need folks to designate a qualified driver. Again, if you've had something to drink, if you've had, again, too much to drink, again, really assign someone to basically, again, take on that task for you as far as being that designated driver. Again, there's already been mentioned that there's a plethora of options. So for example, ride share, again, there are other options other than someone driving after they've actually had something to drink. The other thing that I would ask that our residents and visitors be reminded of is the fact that, again, although candles and lights, they're festive, again, we would ask you to be just mindful of any kind of open flames. Again, extinguish those before you go to bed or before you leave the house. Another quick point is the fireworks show. Again, Chief Steinbeck just provided a lot of great detail about how we actually prepare and make sure that that is a safe event. So we would ask you for this particular day, leave the fireworks to the professionals. Again, you can enjoy fireworks at home or at one of these events just by simply turning on the TV or, again, attending some of the many events that we have. The last thing that I want to mention is, again, just be mindful of the pets. Again, sometimes people forget that those loud noises, the extra attention that we provide on New Year's Eve, it actually provides a little bit of stress on pets. And many of us that, love pets, again, sometimes we may forget that this is a big time and challenging situation for them. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one final thing. Our men and women in law enforcement and first responders, again, one of the things I just want to do is celebrate them, because instead of being able to have a great time, they'll be out there providing service. And I really appreciate, and I think I speak on behalf of all the leaders up here at the podium, that we really appreciate each and everything that they do. So thank you.
Thank you all. Las Vegas is proud to host one of the largest New Year's celebrations in the world, and it's done with the professionalism that our experience befits. After all, we've just successfully launched Formula One, play host to music festivals that draw hundreds of thousands, and on any given night, often have more people attending live events than any city in the world. And of course, we're getting ready to host the Super Bowl. The success of each of these has helped create lasting memories and once-in-a-lifetime experiences in our city. While we may say that everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, the reality is that we rely on our customers having a great time, returning home and sharing their experiences with family and friends, and make plans for their next visit. At the heart of the success of these events in our city is our ability to sustainably provide for public safety and security. As we have on New Year's Eve for the past 4 years, which is proud to provide the necessary infrastructure to host the command center for Metro, city and county first responders, as well as state and federal agencies during this year's New Year's Eve, fireworks, and music extravaganza. Our state-of-the-art facility holds technology infrastructure that allows public safety officials to monitor events, focus on safety, and communicate with the media. By providing our facilities and technology for the remarkable collection of first responders, Switch is also doing its part to enhance the safety and security for all Las Vegas residents and all attendees. We are honored to partner with public safety agencies to help Las Vegas maintain our community's unrivaled history of creating vibrant, lasting memories for people around the world. On behalf of our founder and CEO, Rob Roy, I want to thank you all, and I wish you all a happy, healthy, and safe New Year. I'll turn it over to Under Sheriff Walsh for any questions.
So while we have a minute, if there are any questions before we all leave the podium. Yes, sir.
Andrew Demar, News 3. Sheriff, we know that there was a bulletin sent by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security to agencies across the country, warning agencies about lone wolf attacks and what's happening in the war with Israel and Hamas. One, has Las Vegas gotten that bulletin? And is Las Vegas on that list? And then how are you all prepared for that besides out of full force?
Yeah, I think the important thing that you take from messaging from the highest levels of the federal government, the FBI, the folks that do that type of work is, they said prior to 9/11, there were a few lights that were blinking. Today, the mantra is every light is blinking. And that's the mantra that the sheriff, myself, that's how we push our folks to make sure we're paying attention to every indicator, everything that's available to us to detect, deter, arrest. We recently had the arrest of a juvenile in our community for planning lone wolf type attacks. We don't take any comfort in any type of messaging that says there's no credible threat information. That's not something that causes me any comfort. So we're working diligently to make sure that everything that's out there that's available to us is scoured. Every piece of information, every source that gets reported to us, every tidbit gets followed up vigorously by our team at the Southern Nevada Counterterrorism Center, which is partners with the FBI. So to put it simply, the threat is as real as it's ever been. Yes, sir.
Ryan Ketchum, Channel 13 News. Is there any extra patrol out to be able to staff Fountain Blue, obviously with the night hotel?
Yeah, so in years past, we actually had Fountain Blue staffed. We had officers that were deployed there. The same thing this year. It's just an additional challenge for us to have to staff that property, but we've had it staffed in years past, even though it was vacant. Now, just a little bit of a different footprint, but yes, that'll be covered, that'll be staffed. It's just one addition to one of the many challenges, and that's why the planning, as we've talked about, starts at the end of one event and begins for the next. We learned some lessons from F1 that are going to be applied to New Year's Eve. So each one of these things prepares us for that, but just another wrinkle to the plan. It's pretty seamless. No, every year we get asked that question. I'll just say a billion. The reason we don't answer that is because we don't want to give anybody any idea of what the deployment actually looks like, but very, very few people will not be working on New Year's Eve, and rest assured, I'll be out there on the Strip as well, so you're all going to be safe. All right, thank you all very much.